I found out by accident. Not because he told me. Not because he made a mistake. But because of a letter. A simple, boring-looking envelope. The kind you almost throw away without opening. It came in the mail on a Tuesday. Addressed to him. But he wasn't home. And normally, I wouldn't touch his mail. But something about it felt off. No company name. No branding. Just plain. So I opened it. I wish I hadn't. Because the moment I read the first line, my stomach dropped. Property ownership transfer confirmation. I blinked. Read it again. Slower. Carefully. Because maybe, just maybe, I was misunderstanding something. But I wasn't. The house. Our house. The one we bought together. The one I helped pay for. Was no longer in his name. Or mine. It was in hers. His mother's. My hands started shaking. Not from anger. Not yet. From disbelief. Because there's no way someone does this. Without a reason. Without a plan. Without hiding it. And that's when it hit me. He didn't just do this. He hid it. From me. I sat down slowly. The paper still in my hand. Because suddenly, everything started making sense. The late-night calls. The quiet conversations. The way he'd step outside to talk. The way he'd avoid eye contact when I asked simple questions. I thought it was stress. Work pressure. Something temporary. But no. It wasn't temporary. It was deliberate. And the worst part? This wasn't just about the house. This was about trust. About control. About making sure that if anything ever happened, I would be the one left with nothing. I heard the front door open. His footsteps. Calm. Normal. Like nothing had changed. But everything had. I folded the paper. Placed it back in the envelope. And sat there? Waiting. Because now, this wasn't about what he did. It was about what I was going to do next. And he had no idea. I already knew everything. I didn't confront him. Not that night. Not the next day. Not even the day after that. Because the moment I found out, I realized something important. If he could hide something this big, then reacting immediately would be my biggest mistake. So I stayed quiet. Acted normal. Cooked dinner. Asked about his day. Smiled when he looked at me. And he? He acted the same too. Relaxed. Comfortable. Like nothing had changed. Like he had gotten away with it. That was the hardest part. Watching him sit across from me. Knowing exactly what he did. And still pretending everything was fine. You seem quiet, he said one evening. I smiled. Just tired. Lie. But he didn't question it. Of course he didn't. Because in his mind, I didn't know anything. And that gave me something powerful. Time. Time to think. Time to plan. Time to understand why. Because this wasn't random. People don't transfer property secretly. Unless they're preparing for something. Something big. Something final. So I started paying attention. Not just to what he said. But what he didn't say. The late-night calls became more frequent. Always stepping outside. Always lowering his voice. And one name kept coming up. His mother. At first, I thought. Maybe she needed help. Maybe something was wrong. But then, I heard something that changed everything. One night, he forgot to close the door completely. And I heard it. Clear. Sharp. Unfiltered. Don't worry, Mom. If things go wrong, she gets nothing. I froze. Right there. Because that one sentence confirmed everything. This wasn't a backup plan. This was an exit plan. And I was the only one who didn't know about it. Or at least, that's what he thought. I walked away quietly. Back to the bedroom. Sat down. And for the first time, I wasn't shocked. I wasn't hurt. I was calm. Because now, I didn't just know what he did. I knew why. And that made things simple. This wasn't a misunderstanding. This wasn't a mistake. This was betrayal. Planned. Careful. Calculated. And suddenly, I stopped thinking like a wife. And started thinking like someone who needed to protect herself. Because if he had a plan, I needed a better one. I didn't panic. Didn't cry. Didn't even confront him. Because the moment I heard that call, I understood something very clearly. He already had a plan. Which meant reacting emotionally would only help him. So instead, I started preparing. Quietly. Carefully. The next morning, I did something I had never done before. I went through our financial records. Not randomly. Not out of suspicion. But with purpose. Bank statements. Property documents. Shared accounts. Everything. And what I found was worse than I expected. The house wasn't the only thing. There were transfers. Small ones at first. Then bigger. Money moving. From our joint account to an account I didn't recognize. Regularly. Consistently. Like a pattern. Like something planned over time. My chest tightened. Because this wasn't just betrayal anymore. This was preparation. He wasn't just protecting himself. He was setting me up to lose everything. I closed the laptop slowly. Took a deep breath. Because now, I had two options. Confront him. Or outplay him. And I already knew which one I was choosing. That afternoon, I made a call. Not to a friend. Not to family. To a lawyer. A quiet, calm voice answered. Law office, how can I help you? I paused for a second. Because this was the moment everything changed. I need advice, I said. About property and financial protection. There was a brief silence. Then, of course. Can you come in? Yes. No hesitation. Because now, I wasn't reacting anymore. I was planning. That evening, I sat across from him at dinner. Same table. Same routine. Same fake normal. He smiled. Everything okay? I smiled back. Yeah. Everything's fine. And for the first time, that lie didn't hurt. Because this time, I wasn't the one being fooled. He was. The lawyer didn't look surprised. Not even a little. Like he had heard this story before. Different names. Same pattern. He transferred the property without telling you, he asked. I nodded. And moved money from a joint account? Another nod. He leaned back in his chair. Calm. Focused. Then this isn't just a personal issue, he said. This is legal. Legal. That word changed everything. Because now, this wasn't about emotions. This was about consequences. What can I do? I asked. He didn't answer immediately. Instead, he reached for a folder. Pulled out a few documents. And slid them toward me. You have more power than you think, he said. I looked down. Reading. Carefully. Because after everything that happened, I wasn't missing anything again. And the more I read, the clearer it became. The house transfer? Suspicious. Possibly challengeable. The money transfers? Traceable. Recoverable. And the most important part? He had made a mistake. A big one. In trying to hide everything. He left a trail. A clean, clear, legal trail. I looked up at the lawyer. For the first time, I felt something different. Not fear. Not anger. Control. What do we do next? I asked. He smiled slightly. We wait. That surprised me. Wait? He nodded. Yes. Let him think he's safe. Let him finish whatever he's planning. I understood immediately. Because this wasn't about reacting. This was about timing. Perfect timing. That night, I went home. Same house. Same man. Same lie. He was on the phone again. Stepping outside. Lowering his voice. But this time, I didn't feel hurt. I felt ready. Because now, I wasn't guessing anymore. I knew exactly what he was doing. And more importantly, I knew exactly what I was going to do. I walked past him. Calm. Unbothered. Like nothing had changed. And he? He smiled at me. Like he was still in control. Like I was still unaware. And that's when I realized. This was the perfect moment. Because the most dangerous thing you can be is underestimated. I didn't rush. Didn't confront. Didn't give him even a hint. Because the lawyer was right. Timing was everything. So I waited. Watched. Listened. Every call. Every message. Every move he made. And slowly, his plan became clearer. He wasn't just preparing. He was finishing. Final transfers. Final conversations. Final steps. Like someone about to walk away. Without looking back. And the worst part? He still sat across from me every night. Talking like nothing had changed. Laughing. Pretending. You've been quiet lately, he said one evening. I smiled. Just thinking. Not a lie. Just not the truth he expected. Because while he was planning his exit, I was building mine. A better one. Stronger. Smarter. That same week, I signed the papers. Quietly. Carefully. Exactly the way he thought he was doing everything. Except mine. We're done right. Legal protection. Financial control. Full documentation. Every move recorded. Every transfer tracked. Every detail secured. He thought he was steps ahead. But he didn't know. I had already caught up. And passed him. The lawyer called me the next day. It's ready, he said. That simple sentence felt like the final piece. The last step before everything changed. What happens now? I asked. There was a small pause. Then. You wait for the right moment. I smiled. Because now. I knew exactly when that moment would be. Not when I was ready. But when he thought. He had already won. The moment came on a Thursday night. He walked in. Calm. Confident. Almost relieved. Like something had finally been completed. I need to talk to you, he said. I nodded. Quiet. Because I already knew. This was it. I think we should separate, he continued. It's just not working anymore. Simple words. Carefully chosen. Like this was mutual. Like this was normal. Like he wasn't already prepared for this. I looked at him. No anger. No shock. Just calm. Okay, I said. That caught him off guard. He expected resistance. Questions. Emotion. But I gave him none. Because I had something better. Control. I'll move out this weekend, he added quickly. Mom said I can stay with her. Of course she did. Everything was already set. Or at least, that's what he thought. I stood up slowly. Walked to the table. Picked up a folder. And placed it in front of him. What's this? He asked. Open it. He frowned slightly. Then did. His eyes moved across the first page. Then the second. Then the third. And that's when it happened. That moment. The shift. Confusion. Then realization. Then panic. What is this? He asked. But his voice wasn't confident anymore. It was shaky. Because now he understood. The transfers. Tracked. The house deal. Challenged. The money. Frozen. Every move he made. Documented. Every step. Reversed. You planned this, he whispered. I looked at him calmly. No, I said. I understood you. Silence. Heavy. Final. Because now, everything he thought he controlled was gone. You can't do this, he said quickly. But we both knew. I already had. This isn't your house anymore, I said quietly. And neither is that money. His breathing got heavier. Because for the first time, he wasn't ahead. He wasn't prepared. He wasn't in control. I walked toward the door. Stopped for a second. Then said the one thing. That ended everything. You should have told me the truth. And then I walked out. No drama. No shouting. No looking back. Because revenge isn't always loud. Sometimes it's quiet. Precise. And perfectly timed.